Well, to the US now, where residents on the east coast are bracing for Hurricane Irene.
The storm system has left a trail of destruction through the Caribbean already. North America correspondent Craig McMurtry is with us now from Washington. Craig, good morning. Before we get to the situation in the US, just how much damage has this hurricane done so far?
It's done quite a lot of damage in the Bahamas, Michael. The worst of it seems to be the remote Acklins Island, a place called Lovely Bay, where they're saying that 90% of the structures there have been levelled. Power lines are down as well, roofs have been blown off. So the reporting anyway out of the Bahamas suggests that the storm has been bad, and now it's tracking toward the Florida coast, a Category 3 hurricane, which means it's packing winds of up to 185 kilometres an hour.
What preparations are authorities taking in states like Florida and further up the coast?
Well, with forecasters warning that it could strengthen to a Category 4, that would mean winds of potentially up to 210 kilometres per hour. They really aren't taking any chances. 4 states have declared states of emergency. The hurricane path right now, as forecasters have it, sees it moving along the Florida coast, really coming in at North Carolina, the Outer Banks, Cape Hatteras there, probably on Saturday, and then tracking along the mid-Atlantic, up the eastern seaboard, past us here in Washington, D.C., toward Philadelphia and New York. Now, they're saying that potentially that's a population area of in excess of 50 million people, and if the hurricane does make landfall anywhere near New York, even though at that point they're saying it will have weakened possibly to a Category 2, it would still be the first time that Manhattan's been affected by a hurricane in something like 25 years. So warships from Norfolk have been sent out to sea. They are evacuating 180,000 people from the Outer Banks of North Carolina right now. Stores are being boarded up, houses are being boarded up. In New York, Mayor Bloomberg has already suggested to New Yorkers in beachfront areas that they should board up their homes and move to higher ground. Right along the eastern seaboard, the authorities are warning people to stay away from the surf, to stay off the beaches completely. So it is a pretty serious situation here. It certainly is a serious storm.
It is, and the big concern, of course, as well, is that it is summer where you are, and a lot of people have been travelling to those beaches in question.
Yeah, that's right, which is why, of course, there are so many evacuations on the North Carolina Outer Banks areas. The other thing worth, I guess, noting in this is you've got certain significant events this weekend. The Martin Luther King Memorial, which is supposed to be an extravagant event here on the Mall on the weekend, the unveiling of that memorial, that could potentially be affected. And in New York, they are scrambling to get the World Trade Center memorial site ready for the September 11 anniversary. It's the 10th anniversary. They are really scrambling to get that site ready, and they can't afford to lose any days to bad weather. So there are significant concerns as the storm rolls along. Now, you would know, Michael, that Americans take their weather very seriously. There's certainly been some fairly hysterical reporting as well, with some people suggesting that that Americans ought to prepare for the loss of power for up to 2 weeks, and New York could face flooding, of a metre deep. All of that is a bit hysterical at this stage. It is a serious storm, but hurricanes, they can go in really any direction.
And let me guess, Craig, every supermarket in Washington has sold out of toilet rolls.
Yep, and water. There's no doubt. There's always a run on the supermarket every time there's a prediction of snow, or in this case, heavy rains and winds. There is always a run on supplies, and they're telling people to turn up their freezers to the highest level, to freeze everything in there in case they lose power over an extended period, and fill up their baths. It's early days yet. The worst is not expected for a couple of days here, at least in the mid-Atlantic, and it remains to be seen if this storm does cause as much damage as they fear, but they're certainly not taking any chances.
OK, Craig, stay safe.
I will. See you.
I know we shouldn't laugh, and it's a very serious issue, and it's, as Craig says, a very serious storm, but it never ceased to amaze me that the mere whiff of a gentle breeze coming up the coast that might threaten Washington saw a run on toilet rolls, canned food, bottled water.
Were these worries ever borne out?
Thankfully, no, not while I was there. The city and the East Coast have suffered serious storms in the past, but no, I was going to the normal weekly shop, being an Australian, being fairly blasé about these things and seeing, as Craig
Empty
mentioned,
shelves.
hysteria, you know, people jostling each other in the aisles to grab the last remaining packet of toilet paper rolls. It
You
was
don't want to
amazing.
speak too soon, though.
Exactly, that's right. So we do hope that the hurricane does not cause as much damage as it fears, but obviously there are very serious concerns amongst our American friends about just what impact it may have. So we'll keep across that story over the next few days.
We will.